Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. We've got some things to address here. On my last video, which I'll link to in the description and up on top, I got a lot of comments about how I made the flag keychains. If you haven't watched it, go watch it now and then come back to this. In this video, I'm going to attempt to correct my mistakes, address some of the comments, and hopefully not make too many new mistakes that everyone's going to get on my case about. I was asked to create something for a hot yoga studio that's celebrating 11 years in business. This was a perfect opportunity to redeem myself. I decided to do their logo in a keychain alone because adding words to something this small was not going to turn out too well. If anyone has any tips for adding small words to a print, let me know in the comments. Now there's a few challenges that presented themselves with this new print. I'll go over each of them as I go along. As you can see, I made a few versions and iterated on them to come up with a final result. For now, let's jump into Fusion and begin creating our keychain. We'll start off the same way I always do, by creating a new project and saving it. I've already done that here, so let's go ahead and create a new sketch on the top plane. After this, we're going to create our circle, 40 millimeters in diameter. This is a bit smaller than our flag keychain since I felt those were a little too large. Now let's choose the outside edge and click on Offset from the toolbar. Let's do 1 millimeter. Click OK to confirm. One of the things that was really called out were the eye hooks on the flag keychains. They are a weak point and may break if the keychain is handled roughly. So in this new and improved design, we're going to move to using a hole within the keychain itself. What that means is that since we're going to be doing the same lip around the outside, we need to do a lip around the whole area. Otherwise, all the resin will simply leak out. Choose Circle again to create our hole. Let's make that 3 millimeters. Choose Offset on the toolbar and choose the whole edge. Let's make this 0.5 millimeters. Now it's time to insert our design. Choose Insert then SVG, and let's get our logo in here. Size it up, and we're ready to begin extruding. Let's make our insides be 2 millimeters high, and our outside edges, the lip, 3 millimeters. Same for the whole lip. Once we're done with all the elements, let's take a quick look to make sure we have what we need. That's perfect. Let's go ahead and save and export this. However, we're not done here. Another problem we had with the previous design, which nobody called out by the way, shame on you for not catching this, is the fact that while I made the flags show colors on both sides, I did not flip the bottom side to be the mirror of the front side. While this worked out fine for the Canadian flag, this was incorrect for the French or Italian flags. We're going to correct that in this video. However, this brings about another challenge. While we're able to do the flip thing, if we were to do so without making some adjustments, we would end up with the lip part on both the bottom and top. That sounds great until you realize that if you do that, you will end up needing supports from the bottom side, which will completely ruin the design. So what we need to do here is create a version of the top without the lip. So we're going to do that by using the boolean cut operation within Fusion 360. I tried doing this within Bambu Studio, but the result ruined the model, so I had to go back to Fusion to do it. What we're going to do here is create a new sketch, then create a large enough rectangle that it covers our design. We're going to create it next to the design so we can see things better. When choosing the plane and where to place the sketch, click on the inside surface of the keychain. This is a trick. Now, this tells Fusion to create the sketch on what would be the surface of the keychain. That means that the sketch will be placed 2 millimeters above the top plane, where the edge slips exist. We're then going to extrude the rectangle to be at least 2 millimeters to make sure that we totally remove the 1 millimeter edge. We're now going to move the rectangle to the top of the keychain, making sure that it's all covered. Now we're going to select Combine from the toolbar. We'll hide the rectangle momentarily so that we're able to choose the lip as the target body. We'll then enable it again to choose it as the tool body. Remember to make the operation be a cut. Check Keep Tools to be enabled since we're going to use it again to cut the whole lip. Now repeat the same action, hiding the rectangle to choose the whole lip, then enabling it again and doing the cut operation once more. This time, you can uncheck Keep Tools as we're going to be done with that rectangle. We'll check our work and then export this out with a different name. Finally, we're done here in Fusion and we can go to Bambu Studio. This part's going to be simple. We're going to import both our designs, the top and bottom, and color each of them. We'll change the underlying filament color to make sure the base colors are correct on each of them. Now we go to Paint and assign colors to the logo elements. Next, we're going to choose both and merge them together as one object. We'll then rotate the bottom part 180 degrees so it's facing downwards. Next, we'll center each of the parts so that they're on top of one another. Then move the top piece 2 millimeters on the Z-axis. That places the top directly above the bottom part as one. And with that, we're ready to print. We'll change a couple of settings here in the global properties, including adding ironing at 20 millimeters per second and 20% flow, and changing the wall generator to arachne. We'll change the infill pattern to adaptive qubit and modify the infill density to 20%. Let's check how long each one will take. Not too bad. I need a dozen of these, so let's go ahead and clone it 11 times. And with that, you can go ahead and send this to print. See you in a little bit when it's done. We're ready to pour the resin, and I'm a little bit more prepared this time. I've set up my pieces into the silicone mat that I'll place inside the curing station, which will avoid any spillage when moving over. I also have a needle that I'll use to get any bubbles out instead of a pencil tip. To address a lot of the online comments, I'm not going to be using a lighter this time. I heard you all loud and clear that I need to use a torch instead. I thought I had a couple around, but I can't seem to find one, so we'll be avoiding fire altogether this time around. No danger of setting the house on fire or inhaling nasty fumes, but I appreciate your concerns. I'm going to repeat this in 3 batches and get them curing. I'll speed through the rest of these. I'm setting up my cure to go 4 minutes and running it twice. Seems to be enough to get rid of the tacky feel and harden up the resin. Next up, let's see the end results. Check these out. They look amazing. They have a nice shine and feel good to the touch. What a nifty technique. I think for the next project, I want to try using the resin as the top surface of a coaster. The coasters that I've printed so far have had a pretty slick surface, which is not great for putting glasses on top of. But the resin has a more rubbery feel, which will give us the friction we need. In any case, I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you have any ideas for a future video, let me know in the comments. If you're happy that I didn't burn down the house or end up in the hospital, let me know as well. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.